Hey, what's up, everybody? It's me, Danae, and I'm here with a message for you. Just got oil all over the desk. This is from my hands. How y'all doing? Y'all doing all right? That is not a rhetorical question, by the way. I pray that you are doing well. I pray that when you ask yourself or when you answer that question, there's an honest and hopeful response. Yeah, happy Friday. While we at it, right? Can you believe it? I know I say that every day, right? Can you believe it's Monday again? Yeah, we can. We can believe it, Danae. This is how time works. Oh, that's funny. Well, anyway, happy Friday. And again, I hope that it's been a good one for you. And I hope that you're starting off your weekend joyfully. This is what, the last, well, we got 2 more weekends because Christmas is on a Monday, right? So this is the second to last weekend before Christmas, which means prime weekend for holiday parties, so be safe, be careful. And also prime weekend for shopping, and this is usually like the crunch time when people get a bit more chaotic out there, so don't you join in on that fun. You stay in your little bubble of sound behavior, and don't let anybody push your buttons to get crazy. All right, the deal will be there after Christmas well, maybe not, it may not, I can't really, don't hold me to that, but you'll have access to whatever the thing is beyond the holiday season. And, no material object can make or break your happiness. Otherwise, it's a bit fragile to start out with. So maybe you want to start there. All right, I'm talking hella shit, right? All right, I'm sorry. Let's see where we at. Oh, look at that. Look, and stability, security, harmony, balance. Exactly. Like home is where the heart is, like this is what it all comes down to. If you got a safe place, I literally was just praying about this, a safe place to rest your head, to feel secure and stable. May not be all that you want it to be, or you may have an ideal for something bigger or better or elsewhere, but certainly the present expression of grace and gratitude is something to be treasured indeed, and it's the perfect precursor for manifestation of more. So the Four of Wands is definitely given, first of all, 1111, definitely potential there for twin flame vibes or just sacred union or highly kingdom spouses or highly spiritual partnerships, whether they be platonic, professional, personal, or intimate, and of a very balanced nature where everyone feels well taken care of, heard, appreciated, satisfied to some degree, protected, energized, ambitious, and their ambitions supported in that same regard, influential or inspired. That's all of this energy with the Four of Wands. Not to mention, in a very practical sense, it's literally about having a happy and harmonious home, like your dwelling place being safe, secure, stable, and just beyond just the trivial things, like literally the happiness aspect is pronounced with the Four of Wands. So I definitely send that blessing to your home. I pray that it is not just, and look, this almost looks like garland, if you kind of get into it, like maybe you're decorating your home for the holidays. I used to decorate as late as Christmas Eve. It kind of became a little bit of a tradition for me and the little people in my life that would come over, and we make cookies, and my son, but my niece and nephew would come over, and we decorate the tree on Christmas Eve and make cookies and eat food, pizza or something of that sort. This year, fun fact, I actually kept my Christmas tree up all year long because it was, I don't know, honestly, it started off just because I wasn't ready to take it down in the early part of the year. It's like, oh, well, we'll take it down in February. You know what I mean? Let's give January another ride, you know? Not to mention the fact that I didn't really have an ideal place in mind to stuff it once I took it down because I had thrown the box away and I didn't have a bag and, you know, TMI, blah, 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 blah. But I ended up leaving it up all year long because it just brought me and my son joy. It kind of served as like a nightlight in the living room. It just was added ambiance. I didn't really have a real reason as to why it absolutely needed to come down, even through the summer, even through the fall, all over again. And I know I only had one person, a maintenance man, who wasn't even like my typical maintenance man, that had the heart to actually ask, like, what happened, mommy? Like, why you still got that tree up? And I said, I don't know, it just makes us happy. And he just laughed and it was like, yeah, it's always Christmas, right? He said that. He literally said that. I was like, yep, you're absolutely right. It's always Christmas around here. And that was the vibration that honestly I didn't even know I needed to carry me through the year, because it was kind of a up and down, touch and go year in certain ways. But I did need it. And it needed me, and we needed each other. And my son, every time I would check in with my son, like, you think it's time to take it down now? He's like, no, not yet. Literally until the last string of lights burned completely out, and all that was left was the star shining on the top. And that star is still there. Since then, I've completely refreshed the entire tree. New color, new vibration, a new color scheme, new design, and we got a skirt this year. We didn't have one last year. It was a little naked on the bottom. And, you know, like I said, I was grateful for that energy, and now it's a completely different flow that has evolved into its own thing now. But all that to say that I kind of skipped the whole, you know, tradition as it was this year, because we just decorated our tree. Was it last weekend or the weekend before? It's only been about a week or two at the very most, to be honest, but it just brings me so much joy every time I walk by it. Maybe I'll post a picture on the community tab for all to see and share, you know. But Merry Christmas and happy holidays to you, whether you celebrate or not. I just pray that the spirit is giving you these vibes, and it's enough to carry you not just through the rest of the year, but through 2024 and beyond, okay? And maybe some of you are getting a new home, okay, as that just popped back out for Christmas. Maybe there's something, you know, it's a bit strange usually to be moving, but look, the sun card and the star is out. Damn, maybe so. It's not typical to be moving for the holidays. You know, I'll keep that to myself. Yes, I will. Matter of fact, the cat just got my tongue. Like, shut your ass up, girl. But anyway, maybe you all might be moving. This is car vibes. Maybe you're getting a new car. Maybe these are things that are on your Christmas list, perhaps. So with the wish card here and the sun, you know, maybe this is something that's going to be granted, or that you can anticipate being, you know, something that can come to fruition. Like I said, the chariot is like a new car, or a car in general. But what's the Five of Cups about? Some disappointment, some depression. I hope you don't have like seasonal depression already, or maybe you were anticipating or are anticipating or would like to anticipate some wishes of some sort, i.e. a new house or a new car, or some big gift is what I'm sensing with the sun and the star. Like there's some desire for something big that you feel would move you ahead, you know, that really push you forward in a certain type of way. Maybe there's some disappointment where you're feeling like it's not quite looking like it's gonna be with the Five of Cups, don't be dismayed, and don't feel like it has to happen in a certain time frame, like by Christmas or you by the new year. We put that pressure on ourselves. Just continue to cultivate the spirit of presence with whatever it is you're desiring. You in that new house already. What you gonna do? How you gonna decorate it? What does each room look like? If you literally have a place in mind, print it out, put it somewhere where you can see it. Really visualize yourself in that space every single day, and in a real practical and vivid way. Literally, how you spend your day to day in that space. If it's a new car you're needing, you give thanks for the car that you have. Same with me, same as I said before. Give thanks for the space that you're in. But what does it look like? What does it feel like, most importantly, to be here? It is. That's the feeling here that's missing out. There's a disconnect with the feeling of that cultivation of emotional connection to that newness or that projection. It's one thing to think about it, but it's another thing to actually be able to connect to how it feels in the present tense to be with that thing, or be in that thing, or in that place, or with that person even, right? And what stands in the way of that is us. I'll tell you what it is. It's exactly what I said, like trying to practicalize or logisticalize either how it gets to be or when it gets to be, instead of just being in the present now. So it's like, wow, I really thought I would be able to get a new car for, because I think the end of the year is usually one of the best times to buy a car. I want to say that it is, because first of all, you get all types of deals, and then depending on what type of car, particularly if you get like an electric car, you usually get all, you can rack up on whatever write-offs that you could get for next year, So there's that. I don't even know why I'm saying that, but yeah, so maybe you really wanted to buy that new car, and that would have been your Christmas gift to yourself. But maybe some things came up, or it's just not making practical sense, and it's like, oh, I don't really know if I should spend that money right now. Maybe I need to hold on to it, or whatever. Something could have taken precedence that calls for your more immediate attention responsibly. You know what I mean? Or the new house where you want it to live isn't quite measured, it doesn't look like it's panning out, or where you thought you might be moving, or when you thought you might be moving, or, you get the gist. But those minor details, although they may seem major to our human being, in the spirit, it's a small thing. Like, what is it? What's that line? What's a something to a god? What is that line? Well, I keep hearing what's a goon to a goblin, but that's not what I mean to say. It's like, a small thing to a giant. That's what it is. And that's the spirit. The spirit is giant. It's infinite. Literally, this is the limitation of your wildest dreams, which is really nothingness. It's the firmament. Can we even measure it? Can we even conceive or perceive of how vast it truly is? Well, that's the potential of manifestation power that you have access to simply by believing. So if there is a disturbance or disruption in your peace at all, and this may not even be just that, but I feel like I need to say this, especially when I just talked about holiday shopping, and it'll be there after the holiday, and there's clearly a connection here, not to allow material pursuits have a negative effect or impact on your spiritual vitality. Just keep holding that dream high, and seeing yourself in all. Don't be discouraged if it didn't happen in the time frame that you idealized. Just keep your expectations high. It's coming. Oh, it's coming. And you know if it's coming too. Like, deep down in your heart when something. That's why yeah, it's just it's a bit delayed, but that's why sometimes it becomes such a disappointment, because it's like, damn, I know it, I felt it. With Page of Cups, it's like you thought you had it, and then it was a fish in the cup, and it's like, man, I just knew that this time was it. I knew that this was going to be the moment. And it's like, all right, I gotta wait a little longer. You know what I mean? Like, oh, it's not that ain't quite what I thought it was. It's a little bit distorted from what I anticipated. And definitely don't sell yourself short just taking any old thing. That's what I'm feeling to say here, just to say you got something out of the deal, because you're tired of waiting. Just keep holding tight, because one thing about it with the Knight of Pentacles, I'm sorry, in the highest vibration, it's going to be all of what you desire to have. It won't, and more, as a matter of fact, in this regard that we're talking about. So if you take, it'll be a reason why it needed to take so long. That's too many. Yeah, it'll be a reason why it needed to take so long that will actually make sense to you once you get the fullness of whatever the expectation was, or whatever the manifestation was projected to be. It'll make sense, and it'll satisfy you completely. You won't have to drink a cup with a fish in it, just to say you had a little sip of water, or have it be salty water, and you really wish you would have waited for something a little bit, more in alignment with what you had hoped for. Don't worry, it's coming. Santa Claus is coming to town. All right, so we got the King of Swords, the Three of, and see, what's this? Now I'm seeing all these things peeking out. Yeah, the Empress. It's funny because I was just thinking, like, I've seen the Emperor come out several times, but the Empress been kind of hiding. She been chilling on the back burner. We got too much going on here, actually. We got the Five of Pentacles, another sad, depressive card, low in spirit, low in material, maybe not having the material, like I said, not having what you thought you were going to have to bust the moves you wanted to bust. But here's the High Priestess. What is this? The Four of Swords. Let's see. What's this? Is that the Sun card again? Oh, that's the Lovers. The Lovers. And one more thing I'm seeing peeking out. Six of Wands. Oh, and there's a star. So there's a lot of like promising energy under here. A lot. And I'm getting the sense, oh man, it's so much. It's so much. The World card is cycles ended. The Star card is that like your wishes are still, it's like God has not forgotten about you. Your wishes are still, like on the list. You can rest assured of that. The Empress card is holding firm on that, like I would say like the entitlement to stay in that expectation. As the Empress, you kind of expect that when you make a command, it's going to be responded to, and here's the Six of Wands, which is definitely that victory and success, like what you're looking to accomplish is going to happen. The Hump still is this background Five of Pentacles energy. You know what? And it's a projection from the past. That's what I'm getting. It's so sneaky. It's still like, look at all of this great promise and favor, and then there's still like this Five of Pentacles, Six of Cups, that there might still be some currency of emotional attack. Literally, wow, thank you, Spirit, for that. And it's secretive. It's like behind the veil, under the surface, and it's like you know what it is, but what gets to be done to release yourself of it and from it. Okay, what I'm hearing is that not much. It's just recognizing it for what it is, and knowing to keep yourself in alignment with your true supreme self, because it's being filtered out. That's why it's kind of still trying to linger, behind the curtain, under the surface, in the darkness, in the psyche, because it has nowhere else to go but out at this point. It has to be expelled at this point in time because it doesn't have a place in all of this. The reason why I'm clear on saying that there's not much that you have to do, and literally that you should feel you have to do, in an obligation, is because this Four of Swords is like a relenting to rest and rejuvenation, allowing yourself to be regenerated and restored in the way that kind of puts you in a position to be ready for all of this great stuff that's coming in. This energy, like I said, is literally on its way out if you can get into it. You got all of this up here with you in your wildest dreams. And then you got the Five of Pentacles and the Six of Cups. This is something that's still trying to hold on to your psyche to either absorb your manifestations or interfere, interrupt, or block them. It can't steal them. It can't do that anymore. It realizes that it just doesn't have the energy or the strength to steal what is rightfully yours anymore. So instead, it just tries to send projections to you, really, literally, with this. That's what that is. Thank you, Spirit, with this Five of Cups. Because that's why I was like, why? The Five of Cups, like, that's strange. First of all, the Five of Cups doesn't come out much for me unless there is clear reason, and it wasn't very clear as to why that made sense when I just talked so highly about the Four of Wands and all that great promise, a new house, a new car, and you know what I mean? It's like, what you sad about? What is the disappointment? It can only be a projection of what's still, maybe because timing has shifted, or you had a great expectation for it to come a certain way, and then what probably happened is your physical environment was manipulated by some other force or interference that would project to you that either you were wrong for your projection or anticipation, or to kind of give you the sense that no, it ain't coming, where it may be a delay. It's not a denial, but sometimes to the human senses, a delay you feel very denied and rejected, especially when, like I said, you felt very certain, very sure. That's what the King of Swords is giving me. Like, you were certain and sure that you're good. You know what I mean? That everything is balanced and fair and as it should be, that you could even celebrate, as a matter of fact, for what is inevitable at this time. And that's all this is projection. Release it. What's this? Yeah, trying to keep you stuck. Feeling like there's still more to do. No, you didn't work hard enough. No, you miscalculated. Oh, you're not going to meet that deadline. Oh, you're never going to move. You're never going to have that car that you love. You're never going to get that business off the ground. It's about to be a new year. You don't look new. Ain't no new year, new you this year. Like, you're going to be stuck doing the same old thing you was doing in 2023. Not so. It couldn't be so even if you wanted it to be so, which is why I'm clear that it's like, Spirit is like, just rest. We got this. Oh, we got this. We got this in more ways than we can even tell you. We got this with the High Priestess here. With the World card and the Lovers, it's like you've done all the work that was necessary just in choosing your supreme self and closing out old cycles of which you could proactively do so. It's now Spirit is taking over the rest, closing what couldn't be closed by your own hand, what probably can't even really be accessed by your own hand, because this is psychological and it's coming from a projective space, meaning something else or someone else is expelling this energy toward you, whether it be spiritually, physically, mentally, however it's getting to be done. It's not you, you know what I mean? It's not for you to absorb as your reality. It's for you to be aware of, so you know how to decipher what's your energy and what is projective, and stay keen in this really in this energy here of celebration. Like I said, this is the feeling to literally look, like the Five of Cups is like he's looking at the spilled cups here of the three, and the two are behind him. This is you being called to stay in the celebratory space as I said before, as if it's already done. Everything that you've already projected for the end of this year, for next year, for the next 5 years, this is the space of creativity that you get to stay in. Yeah, look, trying to control your thoughts and your energy, it's not gonna work. That cycle is closed. The world card, that cycle is closed, honey. Everything that's projected to you at this point, yeah, oh shoot, I almost threw that off the damn table. Everything projected to you at this point is just an illusion if it's not in alignment with your vision. And here's the proof right here with the Ten of Pentacles. This is the gifts that these are the manifestations that you've been waiting on. It's already in the realm. You know, you have to act accordingly. You get to act accordingly. Don't be held in contempt by the contemporary, how can I say it, like the contemporary or conventional experience of harvest by way of the Ten of Pentacles, where you have to actually see it to believe it. You just get to believe it. And before you know it, it's like, there it is. There's that house in a whole new space and time. And then this is like your new experience of life that you're cultivating, and you're not even realizing that this small window of pressure, so it seems, you know, particularly throughout the rest of this holiday season, is exactly what is helping you to cultivate a completely different philosophy of life that's going to make over your entire legacy and just completely transform how you do life moving forward without having to carry this baggage and this load that's been, you know, that's been coming along with you of disappointments and frustration and depression and anxiety and fear, like those heavy, dense elements that have just been dragging you down, making you feel like, you know, like subservient to some outside force and out of the sanctity of your own autonomy. This is that pressure point, you know, like how they say pressure makes diamonds, or particularly like when you make olive oil, the olives have to be crushed to extract the oil, which is the true, you know, the most valuable essence of it all. You know, that's the anointing, you know, in a spiritual or even religious sense, you know, that extra special sauce, dare I say, you know what I mean, that's being poured all over your life, all over you, that's going to ultimately filter down into everything that you do, so that you do it differently. You do it with a different level of security and sanctity and confidence, and, you know, you manifest without even a thought. You know, like you don't have to pressure yourself to get into, like literally force your own spirit into a space of celebration. It literally just comes naturally. Because first of all, because you're putting, it's like you're allowing yourself to be put in this pressure cooker right now, though it seems, though it feels, you know, but really it's just, like I said, it's just cultivating that pristine element of you that is most valuable to you and to this realm, whether you realize it or not. And look, here's the olives right here. Here's the harvest in a big way. And the, you know, and the legacy, the, you know, the material wealth that gets to come of it, right? Whether this be in spirit or in truth. But it's like right now, it's the intensity. It's like, damn, I thought this shit was over. You know what I mean? I thought we was done with this. I thought I was ready to move on. And you are. This is that last little bit so that you can feel the contrast in this crossing over between that old world of you, that old mind of you that felt like you had to struggle to do everything. You literally had to force feed your spirit faith and hope, and light and love, even at times, to get through the day, let alone to push forward through whatever goal or objective you were idealizing, to actually seeing the fruition of that perseverance now manifested from not just a spiritual aspect, even an ideal or a fantasy, or not fantasy in a trivial sense, but like, how can I say it, like a visualization even, of a so-called manifestation, literally, as I said, having to, to the believing for the seeing, meaning the faith for the manifestation has come at a much greater, how can I say it, like a greater pressure up until now anyway, because there hasn't been a lot of evidence to support. There hasn't been a great balance in the evidence of support and evidence and measurement for your sowing and your believing and your praying and your fasting and your the cultivation of your creativity. A lot of it hasn't really balanced and measured out to the work that you've invested and the reward that you can actually tangibly account for. But that's about to shift tremendously. Like I said, it almost feels like it ain't coming until absolutely it is here. And then it's like, then what you gonna say when the windfall abundance is here? That you can buy the house, you can buy the car, you can start the business, the relationship is on track. There's kids, baby, you about to have a baby, you've been trying for years, I don't know, you know what I mean? There's so much celebration that's in order now, even more so, that you get to cultivate it before time. But then when you actually can physically account for it, it's going to be like an intensity of, like, how can I say this? It's like, it is the crossover moment, because up until now we've been reconditioning ourselves with great pressure and resistance at that, considered a projection of forces that really don't want you to come to this place of awareness or accountability for your own vitality, let alone to actually see the evidence for your hard work. So that's what the last ditch efforts of great resistance are for, because the minute you actually get to see the harvest that you've been sowing for all this time, and the fact that it's going to be even greater. You thought you wanted this car, you about to get that car at half the price. You thought you wanted to live, you thought this neighborhood was enough for the next 5 years or so. You might be about to build the house of your dreams from the ground up. You thought you just wanted a companion to kick it with every now and again. You might about to be married. You know what I mean? You thought you just wanted enough to have your little small business on the side and while you still work, or just enough of an advancement in your business that you don't have to work in. You about to be building a Fortune 500 company. It's like, this is the pressure that's about to just project you forward in such a way that life of light, love, and luxury will be undeniable. It won't even be a second thought beyond this point. Like, I hope you feel me the way that I feel it. I don't know if I'm really conveying it, but it makes this look so small in the midst of all these amazing cars, and even on this board right now, when you consider the 10 of Pentacles is your destiny, that it already is so. And like I said, this pressure point of having to believe to see is just like really just priming you for the transformative, for that transition of time where you get to just be and see. Like, does that make sense? God, I hope it does. I hope it does. Like, you won't even know that struggle anymore. Consider, like, I mean, this might not be the best the best, that was the Two of Swords though, like you won't even see that, it won't even be the same crossroads for you. And here it is, and here's all that goodness coming into the earth, right? And came back out, perfect. Like you won't even see that struggle anymore. It'll be so easy for you now to manifest, like that world is left behind. You won't even know what that feels like anymore. It will be like a distant memory, if that, because it may be erased from your psyche altogether to know what a struggle even is, because you'll be too used to winning. You know, it's like struggle. It'll be like, what? Like, what is that? You know what I mean? Like, what happened, mommy? Like, you won't need a Christmas tree. Although I've always said that low key, I would love to have a Christmas tree. I know, call it crazy, but I would love to have a Christmas tree in my house all year round and just change it for different seasons. I know it sounds kind of crazy, but I just love Christmas. I always have, and I probably always will to some degree. So low key, I would probably do that in any home, especially now that I've done it here, and I didn't even really mean to. But you won't need that boost of light and joy and peace and that reminder of a time where it comes so naturally to you, because it just will be so naturally to you. It'll be like wake up, manifest, and the rest is history type of vibe. You know, literally becomes a way of life. And because that becomes your way of life, you pass that legacy on to your kids. So this is not just physical prosperity. This is the mindset of wealth, of manifestation that you get to pass on to the next generations, where they don't know no different. You know, the only challenge that you may have, as a matter of fact, is releasing this old mindset, because it's a memory. Because some of us are conditioned in a way where it's like you don't even want to forget the struggle, so that you always have that muscle memory of what's possible to kind of forge, you know, to push you ahead, to keep you going, keep you focused on where you never want to be again. But first of all, you won't have to do that. That won't be necessary unless you choose for that to be so. But the way that your kids about to come up, not knowing a day of lack in their lives, they'll be looking at you like lack, like poverty, poor. And hopefully, because of the come from that you have, you know, I can't be in your home and raise your kids, but I know how I'm raising mine, is that although I know his memory will be wiped clean, he don't even remember the Christmas where I couldn't afford to give him a gift. He don't even remember that. And that was only a couple years ago. His memory is going to be wiped clean from any remnant of struggle and strife and penny pinching or any of that, because of where we're headed, because of where we even are. Hello, right now in this moment, he's not going to have a memory of that in his body, thank God, because he's so young, and it'll be cultivated in him in such a way that a poverty mindset won't be his struggle. He won't have to overcome that. Now, it's my job to instill in him the grace and gratitude aspect, from a spiritual perspective, so that there's just not a raw, unhinged, what do you call it, like entitlement, or a lack of grace and gratitude because of how favored and how prosperous and how blessed he is ultimately. It's important for me to make sure that I instill all those aspects, that he can be just as fortunate and favored as he is kind and appreciative and graceful and just a good person, rich and righteous, to put it plainly. That you don't have to forsake one for the other. You don't have to be a poor righteous teacher, and you don't have to be a rich brat. You can the two can coexist harmoniously. So that's my come from. But like I said, I can't tell you how to raise your kids. But that's my prayer, that with all of the favor that we ultimately have in our possession, and that we are possessed of and by, that we'll still exude this expression of love and light, no matter what, no matter where, no matter when, how, who we encounter. That's the Empress vibes. I guess that's why she came out today. That's those motherly instincts. that I pray to do justice. I do, because I take my position as a mom very seriously. And well, thank you, Spirit. That was confirmation that I'm doing all right with the Queen of Swords. Like, you good. You all right. You all right. You good. Yes, I'm trying. But yeah, so anyway, I beat that down to the ground. So I hope you got what I was putting down about, your mindset being transformed, your spirit at this time, but literally mindset here, right? With the Queen of Swords. And this is like a transformation of the mind, like really. And some stuff does get to transfer, like kind of like what I said just now, how I may still hold some remnants of the memory of struggle, and when I didn't have everything that I desired, and sometimes didn't even feel like I had enough, in moments. But it doesn't have to transfer beyond me, and the way that it gets to transfer, it doesn't have to be in a way of like a blockage, or like I don't have to transfer that memory onto my son as like as a trauma. You know what I mean? Like, well, once upon a time, like, as a matter of fact, when I realized that he didn't remember that Christmas that I couldn't give him gifts, I vowed that I wasn't going to say that anymore. I don't even want to evoke that memory in him if he doesn't even remember it, especially not now at his most impressionable years. Maybe some years down the line, we can share that again when it doesn't even matter anymore. But, like, for the most part, that's more for me to have a knowledge of and a grace for, that I get to discern objectively how it gets to carry over into the new world with me and with us. Again, not to impose as a trauma or inflict as a trauma on myself or onto him, but just that it's a part of the fabric of who I am. Something perhaps that I've even overcome. Yeah, like a conflict that I've overcome to a great deal. And that I know I never have to revisit again, because my mindset about money has been transformed since then. So I know I never will. I know I'll never have to again. I'll never be poor again. I'll never be without again. I'll never be impoverished or feel consumed by a spirit of lack ever again, is my decree and my declaration. And that's the energy that I take over with me into a new experience of life that's being cultivated for me already. And any energy that would try to, conflict with that is really just, it's fighting for its own survival at this point in time. Yeah, the Queen of Cups, King of Cups. Like, I haven't been too favorable about the King of Cups quite lately, the way it's been coming up in the readings. And given that it's coming up with this, remember I said this is projection. This is where it's coming from, as a matter of fact. Someone that's still trying to cause conflict emotionally, to distort your emotional stability and like disturb that. Even my throat is trying to seize up. So I know. Trying to rain on your parade, pretty much. Literally rain on your parade to inflict and impose these projections of conflict with where you are currently and where you even project yourself to be, to really create a disruption between this manifestation, this crystallization of your wishes and dreams in the material form, with a disruption in your psychological waters to connect to that feeling or vibration of which it comes from. That's where it comes from, to already be in the believing before you even get to see. So if someone can come and disrupt your spiritual current, you can delay that crystallization a great deal, because you could put somebody in a position of sadness or anxiety or even depression that would push that manifestation off, push it off to shore, or out to sea or whatever the hell, because now you've pretty much, you have created, perhaps you perceive a delay in the physical form, so now you feel like it's never coming, and now you've almost created that reality, like, well, damn, I guess I guess it's not my winter season. I guess I'm still stuck doing this or having that, or I guess I won't be able to get that car. I guess, you start to, one thing about it is the adverse energies that be know exactly how powerful your psyche, your subconscious truly is, which is why it's the first point of attack to try to infiltrate that space, because it's also the hardest to really connect to for us personally. It's the most powerful, but it's the most dormant power. It's not, I can't even say dormant, but it's like a secret life force, that much of our life is operating from the projection of, but most of our consciousness is not aware of. So therefore, it's almost like we can be on autopilot if we don't have a strong connection to it. And if someone else does, they can kind of be the pilot of your ship, your starship, so to speak, without you even realizing it, sending certain projections and ideals and, like I said, disruptions to you, to the point where now you don't even realize that the shift in your mood has created an unfavorable reality that wasn't necessarily due to you, but now is here because that's what your energy has been projecting forward. It's nuts. It's like, it's crazy how it can be, but this right. It's done. It's over. All you got to do is stay rested. That Four of Swords is about staying in a continuous spirit of rest, rejuvenation, meditation, prayer, resting your mind, most importantly, not allowing yourself to overthink the possibilities, to even concern yourself with the little details, as like I said, well, if it is going to be, then how's it going to be? Where is it going to be? When's it going to be? Where's the money coming from? Where is it you know what I mean? Like, no, this is the spirit doing it for you. It's already happening. This is the force of all the unanswered questions, particularly even of your subconscious with the death card here. You just got to make sure to kind of be conscious of keeping that space filtered out and making sure that you're manning the control of your starship. And when you see the evidence of an infraction or like a security breach, so to speak, of your psyche, which would come up by way of those expressions of emotions like anxiety or sadness, or even depression or guilt, shame, eagerness, even to some degree. Like, when you see the evidence of that, that means there's something going on in the control system, you know what I mean? And then it's for you to just not necessarily try to like take the whole machine apart, i.e. yourself, but just bring yourself back to a grounding, back to that space of meditation, back to that space of affirmation, more importantly, to speak to that system, like almost talk it down, like to speak to that system from a very intentional, conscious communication, to confront any energy you may be feeling on the outside with the truth, the adverse truth of it all to the inside, if that makes sense. Because it has to be stemming from somewhere, right? So it's like, if you're feeling depressed, then you reaffirm yourself with all the reasons why you should be in celebration right now. And that may be very small in the grand scheme of things. Maybe you're depressed because you couldn't get the big car or the car that you wanted, but thank God you have a car. Or you may feel a little bit of a disappointment because you thought you were moving on this date, but thank God you got a home to live in, that type of thing. It's as simple as that, and it seems trivial, but it makes all the difference to really like reprogram your energy and like keep your system in alignment for this, because you don't want this to happen. This is like transmission that's occurring, and it's hard for it to pierce through this energy here with the Five of Cups. You know what I mean? It's like really hard to get through. You could put an end to some things that are in transit just on account of not being in control of your consciousness to then man the systems of your subconscious, of which is harder to control at times. So yeah, anyway, I think you get what I'm saying, but I don't know. One more card and we out of here, because my incense, yeah, like here we go. This, yeah, just reject those energies of rejection where you're feeling like I did I say that in this reading? Like God forgot about you? Yeah. Like what about me? It's like it's coming. Don't you worry, it's coming before you know it. That Eight of Wands is like surprise, it's undeniable, and it's been coming up a lot. So that's how I know, it's literally like it's here. You know what I mean? Even I have to continue to correct my language from it's coming to it's here, because that's just how we are conditioned. That if we don't see it yet, then it must still be on the way. But the true challenge is to be in the spirit of Thanksgiving, that it already is. It is a challenge. You have no argument with me there whatsoever. But it's a challenge. Yeah, it's a challenge. Well taken on. Look at this with the Knight of Pentacles, where it seems like it's delayed. Energy seem to be interfering with, with the transmission and sending you other signals as to what you should truly be believing as truth, i.e. giving you tainted cups, like, oh, you missing, you spilled your 3 cups, well, here's one for you. And then little did you know it was actually something else to be worried about. You know what I mean? Well, all the while, not only is it 6 of Cups here, which is transition and transformation. I'm sorry, the 6 of Pentacles, which is equal give and take, the gift that you can have an expectation for, fairness, balance, harmony, that's all, that's due to you. Also, the 6 of Swords, which is you moving to more peaceful and calmer waters mentally, as I've said, where you don't even have to think so hard about what you're manifesting. You just are it. You are it. Where you're going next is literally the proverbial land of milk and honey, as far as you're concerned, and as far as you can conceptualize it, which is why this area is great, because it depends on how you see it. Everybody's promised land is quite different and quite unique. Even if you got 2 people in the same place, their perspective of it will be completely different, as is implied in the 7 of Pentacles. What you've harvested is according to what you perceive it to be. So everything that I've already said in terms of just, this is that energy that wants to win at all costs, to keep you stuck, keep offering you things that are not nourishment, that are not vital, not pure emotions, projection, because a lot of people are losing in this season and they don't want to be alone in their misery. So if they can't have what you have, or literally have your stuff, or partake in what you have too, with the 6 of Pentacles card, they would at least like to satisfy themselves by delaying your progression forward. And it's just not going to be so. Yeah, High Priestess is here because you know what's up. I'm just confirming what you already know. Here is you and your independent, autonomous mind, satisfied. Yeah, and this is the Justice card. Like, come on, somebody. This is all justified, good, bad, or indifferent. Everybody's getting what they've sown for at this point in time. So like I said, 8 of Wands, it can't be stopped one way or another. Even if you really tried, it will never be stopped. Your own perception of it is what could delay it. But the fact that the 8 of Wands is the card that keeps persisting to come out in every reading just solidifies that it's already in the realm. It's already here. It's in the stratosphere. It's surrounded by blue sky, which means this is not some far out dream or ideal or, fantasy. This is something that is due to you justifiably, and the only thing secretive about it is perhaps, the timing and the magnitude of which the connection gets to happen in the 3D. Yeah, and that this cycle, is those that want to keep you in this energy, keep projecting their burdens onto you, making you feel like there's still yet more to do. that you haven't done enough, that you still got more time. It's like this is over for you. If you're sitting in the position of manifestation power, it's over for you. And the funny thing is, it's over for them too, to be able to put the cycle in which they were able to successfully heap these burdens on other people by way of projection is over for them too. They just don't realize it yet, because that's what happens with the Five of Swords. They think they won, but they just don't know that they only just begun. And now they're about to start a new cycle of burden, really picking up all of what they left off onto someone else's back. But that ain't got nothing to do with you, sis, bruh. You just keep on seeing the highest vibration of all that's coming to you, and leave these burdens on the wayside where they belong. You know, it's not up for you to carry the energy of poverty, of restlessness, of eagerness, fear, anxiety, like every which way you could have felt yourself being heavy laden in the past year, in the past 3 years, in the past decade. You can chip off, literally decade with the 10. You can chip off every last cross that you've ever had to bear, and celebrate the success, you know, your resurrection of sorts, your ascension, indeed, because just as I said, that pressing of the olive oils is what makes the most invaluable essence, which is the oil itself. That was like a currency in biblical days, like a cash crop to some, and still is, I'm sure, to some degree. It damn sure is expensive when you think about what you pay for it in the grocery store. So it's still a commodity even in our modern society, you know. And now it's like, well, I don't think I said this before, but when I said it's kind of a bad, I think one of the cards threw me off. It's kind of like a bad example, but if it's coming up again, I'm gonna say it, that once you've crushed that olive, each and every single one, and the oil is extracted, the olive is, you know, it's no, you have no like, what do you call it? Like no, you don't cry for the olive, you know what I mean? Like you don't have any contempt or any like, I don't know what's the right word for it, but you don't feel no type of way, no sorrow for the olive that got crushed, because now you have the most precious essence of it all, the thing that matters most. So I don't even like olives, but I cook with olive oil, you know what I mean? So it's like once you've gotten to what the essence, the value, the worth of that being, that entity is, it's almost like the form of the olive as it was, at least in that expression, is not even, it doesn't even really matter anymore. It's like the old energy, the old entity has passed on, and now this new form of its essence in this transformative state is what truly holds the value and the weight for whatever the persistence may be moving forward. You know, I hope that makes sense. You know, that meaning all this to say that you may have been crushed in ways that you didn't ask for, may not have even been fair to some degree, or didn't feel fair or righteous, didn't feel justified, definitely felt burdensome and a great deal, maybe even felt externally imposed or inflicted upon you. But the way that you're about to flow in this new season, already upon you, the essence of the oil that's flowing from you, through you, that's pouring into every aspect of your life, is not only unlimited in its prosperity, it's invaluable. It's going to make the old season of the crushing par for the course, and actually you'll be thankful that you were so crushed. Otherwise, you would not be able to experience the magnificence of you in this transformative state of being, the literal presence of you, as present of you as a present, presence of you in the present that is now. you won't even be able, you wouldn't even be able to experience that and truly appreciate it for what it's worth had it not been for the process, as strenuous as it may have been. It's all been worth it. And now you can release that vessel of the crushed aspect of you as a distant memory, just as you would toss away those olives that have been crushed, the remnants of those olives, and now just receive the, the purity and the essence of the oil that you are, that precious element of vitality that now remains to live on beyond even this moment, and be you being the cash crop to some degree within your own life and the generation and legacy that you're creating, and adding value and essence to the universe holistically. So that's it. That's all. I hope that made sense. Because a lot of what I felt here, I don't know if I really conveyed it, but it's robust. It's big. Like sometimes I think they even have an olive oil that says like robust, you know what I mean? Or what, cold pressed olive, like the most premium of oils you can possibly think of, because I can't even say that I always buy the most premium, like I said, they're expensive in the grocery store, but that's what you are, and your circumstances, your past experiences are all what have rendered you to be such. So it absolutely is cause for a celebration. It couldn't have been, you couldn't have been, we couldn't have been any other way. All right, so with all of that being said, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Until next time, as always, I leave you with peace.